What is good, YouTube? Quinway Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video on the Toronto Raptors, a team that continually finish in the top 4 teams in the East. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals after losing in the first round a couple years. The only problem I have with the Raptors is they have to put it all together before it's all over. Just like the Clippers and just like I said about Portland, DeMar DeRozan is only 28 years old. He's not getting any younger. And Kyle Lowry, their other all-star in the backcourt that made multiple all-star appearances together, he's in his 30s already, getting older, and he only got one more good contract because he's 31, and they're already paying him $28 million, and he's about to be older. Can they make a run? And the thing about it is, it's not even about beating LeBron. It's not even about beating Boston and Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. It's not even about beating the Washington Wizards with John Wall and Bradley Beal. How far off is they from winning a championship? We're talking about you have to beat Cleveland, and on top of that, you have to beat Golden State, San Antonio, Houston, OKC. You can't just come out the East because we know how weak the East is going to be this year. And we know that there's only 4 great teams, and if 5 if the Bucks can mature. And if they beat the Bucks last year, but there's going to be another Bucks team this year because they will have Barry. And if he's healthy, that's going to add another dynamic, another ball handler, another scorer, another post-up player, and another guy that can score 20 points a game with Giannis and Chris Middleton. So, and a guy that can match up good and have, he can play the 3, he can play the 4, and that gives them versatility. So, the Raptors are finding themselves in a situation where they have to go all in or nothing. They went out and got P.J. Tucker, and they lost him in the offseason because he went to Houston. They went out there and paid Serge Ibaka $25 million, I think, or $20 million a season. And he is the right guy because, well, they paid him $20 million, so that is true. But Serge Ibaka is 27, he's about to be turned 28. But he is the right guy for DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry because he doesn't really need the ball, and he's a guy that if everything fails, that possession, you can always run pick and roll and get a pick and pop or a pick and roll or a spot up 3 from Serge Ibaka. He's always open because a lot of teams don't pay attention to him because you have players like DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry that you're game planning and you're focusing on. So somebody got to score all the hockey points, getting the hockey assists or getting the dump offs. And it's going to either be Jonas Valanciunas, who needs to continue to rise and step up, or Serge Ibaka. Those are the 2 players that has to do more. Serge Ibaka did what he was supposed to do, knocking down the threes, knocking down the mid-range, and always getting the easy open points from guys not paying attention to him. Jonas Valanciunas has been a disappointment because they paid him his money. He took a pay cut. He took $80 million. And a guy, I'm a fan of him, but he just hasn't become a great post-up player. He hasn't really been a double-team player. He just hasn't developed into nothing but a solid center, and that has really hurt this team growth because they needed him to be better. And then they try to go out there and get Serge Ibaka to add a rim protector and a player that can play off of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, knock down mid-range, knock down threes, and he was the perfect fit. But then they couldn't stay healthy because Kyle Lowry been injured for the last couple of years, and they only getting older. Like I said, Serge Ibaka about to be 28. DeMar DeRozan already 28. Kyle Lowry already 31. They don't have that much time to go for a championship. This roster is one of the best rosters they have ever had in Toronto history. They're making a run at it, but they haven't even got to the finals. They only won like 2 games in the Eastern Conference Finals and got destroyed last year. So this team has to figure out what they're going to do. Can they win games with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan? Can they get to the finals and give a shot to winning a championship? And that's what it's all about this season. How good is this team? How far off is this team? Because they have to figure it out quick before it's all over. They'll be blowing this roster up in another 3 years. And DeMar DeRozan be in his 30s. Kyle Lowry be in his mid-30s. And then you have to rebuild or trade these players away to try to get something back and still compete. Because they couldn't beat the Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers can't beat the Spurs. They already got destroyed by the Warriors. They won 1 year out of the two. Warriors won 2 out of the 3. So, and they should have won 3. And that just lets you know how far the Raptors really are off from winning the championship. And I'm just being honest. And I love this team. I love the roster. I like what Uzziah has done. And it's just not enough right now because they can't even beat the teams in the East. And it's going to be harder to beat the teams in the West. But I like what they done. They lost P.J. Tucker. They got K.J. Medallion, a guy that can play the point defend the point or the shooting guard position. Sometimes three. He's a guy that plays hard and he works hard and he tries to make an impact. Jakob Poeltl is a great guy. He allows them to have a center that can knock down the jumper. He can punish switches. He can post up. He can get to the free throw line. And he's continuing to develop. And he's only 21. Norman Powell will get more minutes because they lost Corey Joseph. So that should be good. And he's still under a cheap contract. Jonas Valanciunas is only 25 years old, but he has to have a bigger impact. He already got his money. Now it's time for him to start doing better. He's a great rebounder. He got good hands, but he has to be better on the offensive end for this team to take another step. DeLon Wright is another guy that is going to get more minutes because of the Corey Joseph trade. Norman Powell going to get some backup minutes and some starting minutes every once in a while, depending on who get injured. And then Bruno Caboclo, he hasn't really developed like people thought he would, but he's still under contract cheap and he still has stuff to prove, which means he might not even get a big payday. So they have a lot of versatility. They have a lot of lineups they can throw out there. It just, can they do enough? Can they stay healthy? And now DeMar DeRozan is saying on ESPN that he felt that they was always one piece away. What is that piece? Can you package Jonas and something else for DeMarcus Cousins? Is DeMarcus and Serge enough to beat the Cavaliers? Is Anthony Davis enough, which he might be, but you might have to put him at the 5 and keep Ibaka at the 4 if you trade Jonas and package. They have to figure out what's this missing piece, and they have to do it quick because if they can't get out of the East, and if they could, they still got to beat the team out of the West. And right now, they're stuck in a situation where they're not going to get a high draft pick because they're winning 50 games, and they're not going to really keep all these players because the players going to go where the money's at. Obviously, a lot of the rosters are full and a lot of the payroll is gone, but people can always maneuver and find a way to get rid of their players or just buy them out so that way they can sign them. So I don't really think this roster is good enough to win a championship. Obviously, if you would have said that years ago, they might have had a chance. Right now, DeMar DeRozan has continually improved. Kyle Lowry has to stay more healthy. Serge Ibaka did his role and did his job. And like I said, I'm just disappointed in Jonas Valanciunas. And at the end of the day, they got rid of DeMarre Carroll. He was a guy that was supposed to be that missing piece, but he never became that because of injuries. And then Serge Ibaka was supposed to be, him and P.J. Tucker was supposed to be them extra defenders to guard LeBron and a rim protect to keep Kyrie and LeBron out of the paint. And it still wasn't enough. Even though you can say they didn't have Kyle Lowry, I don't think they was going to win a series anyway. But with Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder going to the Cavaliers, it's going to be a little chemistry problem. They're going to have to develop and get together. John Wall and them, they one piece away too. The Raptors probably could beat the Wizards. Remember, Paul Pierce had broke their back. And now all of a sudden they might have a chance to beat the Wizards. They might have a chance to beat the Celtics because they do match up good with the Celtics with Serge and Jonas. They're great rebounders and solid big men. And then they don't really have a matchup for DeMar DeRozan. And Kyle Lowry and Kyrie can I like Kyrie better. They can kind of X each other out. So with that being said, this team has been a team that finally got to the Eastern Conference Final, but now they got to find a way to get to the NBA Finals. And this is a good season because the East is weaker, and LeBron has to get the chemistry. The Celtics, the second best team in the East, they have to get the chemistry too. And they've been playing together for a whole year, and most of them been together for a while. This is a chance for Toronto to make a big run. And if they could do that, they probably could get to the finals. But if that don't happen, this team, they're going to have to start figuring out what they're going to do next. Because at the end of the day, the team has really underperformed. And they're still not a contender to me. I had this team finishing in the top 3, winning 51 to 53 games, finishing number 2 or number 3 in the East. I have them going to the second round at worst, in Eastern Conference Finals at best. Let me know what you guys think about the Toronto Raptors. Let me know if they disappointed, if you're a fan, if you agree with what I say, if you disagree with what I say. We can talk about it in the comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. It'll be in the comment section in the description. And a link to my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. It'll be in the description and in the comment section below. All you gotta do is click it, hit the like button on my Facebook page just to show support. That's all I'm asking you guys to do. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, signing out, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Bye.